Hey, it's Classic Gaming HU64 and today we're playing Super Smash Bros. Melee and we're going to be unlocking Mewtwo. So first you want to do is go to Data and you want to go to Melee Records and Miscellaneous Records and see where it says Combined Verse Playtime. That has to be over 20 hours to even challenge Mew. And the way to do that is if you go into Versus Mode, Melee, and you want to go up, pick whatever character, go to Settings. You want to go to Stock, leave it on 1 life, take off items, additional rules, no time limit, and then as many friends as or controllers you have, you could open it. So I only have 2 controllers, so that's going to take that's going to take 10 hours total. But well, if I didn't have the time, let's say I selected my characters, Mario and Peach, start, let's just do, you could do it like a giant open stadium that you're not going to get blown off or fall off. And then all you do is want to do, when you start the match, just do 1 punch, and then just leave it for the hours, like when you go to bed, leave your system on, and then kill the character, when it's probably over the 20 hours. Boom, she dies, and now we're going to challenge Mewtwo. Just beat it, start. A new foe has appeared, and to be Mewtwo, we're going to challenge him at the Pokemon Stadium. But yeah, that's how you unlock Mewtwo. It's not that hard. Oh, it's not at the Pokemon Stadium. Woo! Oh, blocked. Let's get a big hit here. Let's hit him with the wand. Oh, hit me. Big block, man. And that's it. Killed Mewtwo, so he's on the roster now. Mewtwo's mental powers are now yours to command. That's it, guys. We unlocked Mewtwo. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The last character we'll be unlocking is Mr. Game & Watch. Alright, I'll see you guys later.
Week after week, there's an ominous shadow that lurks just beneath the surface of the YouTube comments. A subtle imitation of the fear that plagues my mind. If it doesn't exist, it can't hurt me, right? Because I know that dwelling on it will only make the eventual arrival all the worse. I file it into my mental spare cabinet, like a bill I haven't paid yet. But on the edge of sleep, when the wall holding back the roiling subconscious at bay starts to flag instability, it trickles through the gaps in my makeshift defenses. And whispers of that fear find their way to me, poisoning my thoughts with the knowledge of the inevitable. And then one day, it actually finally wins the comment votes. So Judgment Day is here now, and I can't ignore it anymore. Mewtwo is here. In this video, we'll talk about the following formats. Oh boy, buckle in, guys, because it's a really long one. There are certain memories from when we're young that act as touchstones we come back to for the rest of our lives. One of those memories is a raised platform in a cave, holding a solitary figure. When you finally catch Mewtwo, it's the culmination of an entire journey, and the fact that there's probably nothing left to beat in the game doesn't mean anything, because that terrifying power is more than capable of obliterating your friends. It's not just that Mewtwo has no weaknesses in Gen 1. Although let's be honest, when your worst trait is that one stat you have is under 100, you're doing alright on that front. It's that it takes advantage of every single stupidly broken thing in the original games to be the best. Psychic typing, an absurd special stat, access to arguably the 2 best moves in the game in Blizzard and Amnesia. Mewtwo lives up to its name of being engineered to be perfect. While its standard set consisting of the perfect fusion of those things was capable of destroying entire teams with a single boost, and if you really wanted, reaching 999 special after 2, Mewtwo did have other options. But what else did you expect? And with stat XP over EVs, it was free to specialize however it wanted. Throw in Thunderbolt or Submission to beat water psychic types like Starmie and Slowbro, or punch through Chansey and Snorlax's defenses. Go full physical if you really wanted, utilizing the devastating power of a 110 attack Hyper Beam. And speaking of that one weakness, you could opt to eliminate it entirely with Barrier, which when paired with Recover and Thunder Wave, meant Mewtwo would stick around forever and just win through firing off psychics unless the opponent critted through its defenses. Substitute also deserves a special mention. While it's not amazing in normal battles, in Pokemon Stadium it was updated to its current status immune form, bypassing the one other way to beat Mewtwo. And speaking of which, that was probably the only way you were going to take down this monster. There's not a single counter to Mewtwo in Gen 1. Really, Chansey's monstrous special is the best bet, but if Mewtwo is packing Submission, you're dead to rights. And Chansey's still not going to beat Mewtwo one-on-one. It's purely aiming for a freeze, and the bad bad news is that Mewtwo has a better boosting move and a higher critical rate, so you're statistically probably going to lose that battle. And this is a trend. Starmie and Slowbro can resist Blizzard and Psychic, but what else are they gonna do? Well, probably Thunder Wave it. The only way to stop Mewtwo is to paralyze it, or if you're lucky, get the freeze. And once paralyzed, maybe, just maybe, your Tauros or something can take it down, since otherwise it outspeeds, every Pokemon except for 3 of them. And only Electrode outsped Mewtwo. Jolteon and Aerodactyl were just tied with it. Alright, so you've paralyzed Mewtwo. It somehow doesn't have an Amnesia up, and your Tauros is in. Time to win. Oh, it used rest. Well, it's back to full health and faster again. Mewtwo is the best Pokemon in Gen 1 bar none. Run it however you want. It will likely win. Outside of power constraining armor or a second clone, you likely weren't beating this thing. After all, it's smart enough to speak. The only other Pokemon we've seen do that are Meowth and, some things are best left forgotten. Of course, Mewtwo's power came in forgetting, but Gen 2 put some form of limiter on it by toning down the raw power of Amnesia. The 64-point drop to its special defense didn't help either. And that wasn't all. Generation 2 had specifically introduced Psychic-type counters in Dark and Steel types, and in a metagame full of special walls like Blissey and Snorlax, Mewtwo wasn't quite capable of just blasting through the opposition and boosting up when it needed to. What's more, Mewtwo was no longer the only one lurking around Ubers with Mom anymore. There were new invaders into its cozy home now. Invaders with 154 special defense. So Mewtwo took a page out of Snorlax's book itself and most frequently ran a Curse set. Even with just one physical move, Curse allowed for Mewtwo to cushion up its physical defense and make for submissions that would destroy its biggest counters. The aforementioned Blissey, Snorlax, Tyranitar, and Umbreon. Then when Ho-Oh or Lugia came in, he blasted it with Thunderbolt, which still hurt pretty bad. Of course, he got its stab Psychic, Fire Blast power against Celebi, and Shadow Ball's ability to hit Ghost types super effectively. Yeah, those were all attractive. But the benefit of hitting Lugia and Ho-Oh hard was too good to pass up, especially with Skarmory roaming around. The fact that Mewtwo actually had to work to get KOs this time meant it had a bit more of a specific role. It couldn't just come in willy-nilly and blow things to smithereens anymore. Instead, it was a powerful late-game failure because of its incredible mixed attacking stats. Once its fingers it was free to run rampant again, although things might go off with a few more hits.